Hi and welcome to On Rocky Ground. So, a policy was put before council with the last council meeting, and that policy was for legal representation, i.e. using ratepayers' money for councillors and employees of the City of Rockingham to take legal proceedings against ratepayers. So that's your money being used to potentially take you to court. There's 4 major criteria on which to determine whether these funds can be used to support a councillor or a city employee in their legal proceedings against a ratepayer. One of them is this legal representation must relate to the performance of a councillor or employee within their duties. Those costs must be in respect to legal proceedings that have or may have commenced, that the councillor or the employee must have acted in good faith and not acted unlawfully or in a way that may constitute improper conduct. Now, the policy does state that the monies used cannot exceed $10,000 unless approved by council, which means it's unlimited. A point to note from last month's council meeting was that the latest Workplace Health and Safety Act has now come into play in WA, and that's one of the toughest laws in WA now to support and cater for employees in their place of work. Some are now questioning why we need a policy that allows anybody to take ratepayers' money and use it for legal purposes against such like as defamation. I would encourage anybody to actually go and watch the video of the council meeting. There were some rather remarkable comments by councillors. One or two to note. Councillor Sally Davis believed that people really didn't understand the policy. It's only a 5-page policy. I found it quite straightforward to understand, and it's really for some a matter of principle as to why ratepayers' money, your rates that you pay, should be used because of things that are happening on social media. Keeping with Councillor Sally Davis, I note that was again in the video, the council meeting, there was a point of order raised by Councillor Lorna Buchan. And when you're debating, it's especially when people are watching, it can be quite a stressful situation. You've got to concentrate, so there's nothing worse if somebody's talking. Now, there are rules and regulations, part of the Act, a code of conduct as to what you can and cannot do, and the expectations of elected members during a council meeting, or any meeting for that matter. So Councillor Lorna Buchan, whilst debating, raised a point of order to the Mayor and said there's a lot of mumbling coming from my right, which happened to be Councillor Davis. And the Mayor brought her to order and said, please stop talking. Now, her reaction came across as somewhat petulant, and if you read the Code of Conduct, there is mention about adverse reflections or reactions. Now, Councillor Davis was told politely to basically be quiet and respect that other councillors are debating, and she threw her hands up, and it came across quite petulant, and maybe she doesn't understand the Code of Conduct. Who knows? I just think it came across as very disrespectful, unprofessional, has a lack of respect for other people that are debating. So hopefully we'll see better behaviour in future council meetings. So the actual vote was lost. This policy was defeated in its current form, but Councillor Craig Buchanan then put in a foreshadowed motion to go back to the drawing board and split this policy in 2. One to support the employees and one for elected members, councillors. Interestingly, Now, when we look at Sally Davis, when she was running for council, quite clearly stated, vote for Sally Davis if you want a councillor who consults with and actively represents local people. There were 111 submissions about this particular policy. 110 of them, which is quite substantial and significant when it comes to returns or submissions, 110 of them were against this policy. Now, if you're going to listen to people, and that is a marker or a guide for people's views on things, if you're going to listen to them, surely you're going to vote against this policy. Not Sally Davis. Sally Davis voted for the policy and based her arguments around the fact that people simply didn't understand. Brett Wormall. Now, Brett, another Baldarvis councillor. Now, in response to a question on social media, would you vote for or against the proposed policy to use ratepayer funds to defend councillors from defamation? Brett's response was, I believe the public should have their say on how duly elected councillors represent them and their city. If the majority of the public says no, I will vote no. If the majority of the public says yes, I will vote yes. This is your decision as councillors act on your behalf. Again, 111 submissions, 110 of them saying no chance. Brett voted for it. Another Baldarvis councillor, Hayley Edwards. She voted for the policy to use your funds for legal representation. And finally, it was Councillor Lee Liley, to top the four off that actually voted for this policy. So the policy will now be split because it was lost. This policy will be split into two, one particularly to support the employees and another to support councillors. These policies will come forward, I believe, in either May or June and July for voting. So I encourage anybody to look at the video of the council meeting. Some comments and certainly some behaviour would raise an eyebrow, and read the policy. Now, if you don't get it and you don't understand it, I'm sure, email Sally Davis. I'm sure Councillor Sally Davis will go out of her way to explain this policy to you if you don't understand the 4 pages of the policy. Feel free to get in touch with her. In fact, get in touch with all your councillors, make a difference, get in touch with them. This could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars of your money. Some people are saying that they should look after their own legal arguments, councillors, and the fact that employees are covered by the Health and Safety at Work Act. Anyway, that's it for this council meeting and this video. So I'll keep you updated with the policies that are split and come before council. So thanks for listening. Take care.